Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us for this first ever official Codemasters Dirt 5 live stream. Thank you for joining us. Super excited for you to be here. Super excited to show you the game running here at Codemasters HQ in our lovely shiny streaming room. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. So my name is Chris. I'm the social and community manager for Dirt 5. If you've been following any of our channels over the last, was it 5 months, nearly 6 months now, we've been talking about Dirt 5 ever since announced back in May. Feels like forever ago now. But yeah, so thank you for joining us, everybody. It's really exciting to be here to show Dirt 5 running here. And yeah, shout out to, I wanted to mention this at the very top of the show, shout out to everybody on Discord. So the official Dirt 5 Discord. Thank you for everybody who's been in there recently and chatting with us. It's been brilliant to be chatting with you guys, and I wanted to make sure I gave you a shout out early on. So before I forget, there it is. Okay, so that's the thank yous and the intros over and done with. We'll crack on with the gameplay as soon as we possibly can. There's a few things I want to get through first, just to get you ready and set up, and to make sure you know what to expect as we show you Dirt 5 here in our official live stream. So let's begin. So first thing to mention, as you can probably see, as you'll be able to see maybe later on in the top left-hand corner of the screen, we put a little bit of a disclaimer on this one. So basically, we are running today's live stream on a work-in-progress version of Dirt 5 running on PC. So it's a recent build, one of our regular builds that we work through here at Codemasters. And we're going to run this for the live stream specifically for the purpose of showing you some different modes, particularly career mode. We'll get onto that in a second. The build will be running at 1440p. It's obviously capable of more than that on launch, and there's so many different options to enhance graphics and things like that on PC and all platforms. But for this purpose and for this stream, we're going to be running at 1440p. So just keep that in mind as we run through the gameplay. And as that sort of alludes to, today's stream isn't designed to be a visual showcase of Dirt 5 running at its absolute highest spec. That's not the purpose of today's live stream. We want to show you features and content and modes. If you're really interested in finding out more about the peak visual performance of Dirt 5, look no further than some of the content that dropped yesterday, which was massively exciting. We dropped first previews of Dirt 5 running on Xbox Series X, including the game running at 120 FPS, multiple different performance modes you can use. And of course, a lot of those settings will be able to be replicated for PC players as well with high spec setups and those sort of things. So make sure you check out some of the Xbox Series X gameplay that dropped yesterday. Highly recommend checking out places like GameSpot. Did an excellent preview of the work in progress build that we gave them. Digital Foundry as well. Really excellent breakdown of how 120 FPS changes things. Even though running on YouTube, sometimes it's difficult to tell, but they did some really interesting stuff to help you really understand, how a next-gen feature like 120 FPS will work in a game like Dirt 5. So make sure you check those out after this stream. But today, we're here to talk about modes and features, but specifically career mode, and I can't wait to show you more about that. We discussed it way back, I think it was June. I think we initially sort of revealed what career mode is all about, and we're massively excited about it. We're going to get into more of it in a couple of minutes' time. Can't wait to do that. And one final thing to mention, as you'd have noticed probably, there's not a lot of noise behind me at the moment, even though we're sitting on the main screen. The reason for that, again, we've put a little disclaimer on the screen, is that music is disabled just for the purpose of this stream. Obviously, we don't want to have any issues with things like copyrights or flagging it for copyright infringement or something silly like that. So we thought safest just to put the music to one side just for this build. But it's really important because we are massive fans of, we put a massive focus on music for Dirt 5, and we can't wait to see what you think more about the music that's in Dirt 5. We revealed a few weeks ago, the official soundtrack for Dirt 5 is one of the biggest, most ambitious soundtracks ever made for a Codemasters game. Over 40 different artists and some world stars such as Stormzy, Pearl Jam, the Chemical Brothers, the Prodigy, just name after name of festival headliners, just name after name. And then there's some brand new exclusive tracks that have never been heard before that are going to feature in Dirt 5. Some new tracks have just dropped, like the new track, I don't know if you've heard it, from Royal Blood, fantastic UK band, Trouble's Coming, that's in Dirt 5. Some brilliant sort of underground or up-and-coming bands such as Dinosaur Pileup and Sports Team, the Amazons and groups like that. Just super, super excited for what Dirt 5 has in terms of a soundtrack. And one thing to really mention is if you go on Spotify right now and search up Dirt 5 soundtrack, it's there to listen to right now. You can listen to each track that's confirmed for the Dirt 5 soundtrack on Spotify right now in a playlist that we've made. So if you want, maybe chuck on Spotify, find the playlist and play it right now to get a feeling of what that soundtrack is going to be like in the game. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into some of the gameplay. So time for me to shut up a little bit and focus more on the gameplay. Let's talk about career. So we sit here on the main menu of Dirt 5. So to sort of set the scene a bit, career mode, one of the most ambitious careers we ever made for the Dirt franchise, and put a big focus into getting world-renowned names into career mode and focusing on a narrative as well, and creating a bit of a story for you to go through whilst experiencing all these awesome racing scenarios that you're going to see. So you play the role as the player of a rookie entering the Dirt World Series, which is this massive form of motorsport which combines all kinds of different terrains and surfaces, travels the globe, and its established star for so long has been Alex Janacek, better known as AJ, and he is voiced, as you may have already heard, by the amazing Troy Baker, world-renowned voice acting star. We're so pleased to have Troy in the game, and he's been working very closely with us on a bunch of different things recently. And you'll hear a little bit from him in a moment's time. And so the idea is that you're an up-and-coming superstar in this series that AJ has dominated for so long, and he's willing and open and ready for people to come and challenge him and to be the next superstar. But then there are other characters in the career mode, but specifically one character by the name of Bruno Durand, who's also voiced by another world-renowned star of voice acting, and that will be Nolan North, of course, of fame of Uncharted and the recent Avengers game and so many different, top class titles. And we're so pleased to be able to bring him into Dirt 5 as well. He's been fantastic to work with, and he plays the role of Bruno Durand, who is in many ways the main antagonist as you go through the game. You won't hear from him too much because in this video, because we're going to play through the first chapter, but that story kind of develops as you go along. So when you play the game, when you play Dirt 5 from November 6th, we're going to be talking about the release date a lot as we move along today, expect to build a bit of a rivalry with Bruno, voiced by Nolan North. And the whole thing is pulled together and sort of the scene is set, and the pot is stirred a bit by an in-game podcast led by the fantastic Donut Media, who are a car culture automotive online channel on YouTube and all over social media channels, and especially on YouTube, over 4 million subscribers now. And two of the main stars from Donut Media, James Pumphrey and Nolan Sykes, feature in Dirt 5, and you're going to hear them very soon, sort of setting the scene, moving things along, and being part of the whole vibe of Dirt 5. So let's get into it, shall we? That's enough of me talking. So the idea is that we've just played through sort of the first event to get things settled in, and now we're about to find out more about career as we jump in now. So if I switch over to game, so let's see how it goes.
Hey there. If you're listening to this message, then congratulations. Not only did you enter your details correctly,
yes,
but you also impressed me. Impressed me enough that I'm going to invite you to the AJ Racing Academy.
Oh, here we go.
As you may have guessed, it's been set up by yours truly, and my one and only goal is to push you out there a bit more. I'm going to throw you in the deep end and see if you can swim. Make Team AJ a dominant force in the world of extreme motorsports. So, no pressure. Well, that's you all signed up. Welcome to the club.
Well, there you go. So that's AJ.
Now listen, I know you
here we go. A little bit more to tell us.
Some tires, but just hold up a minute.
Oh,
I've
sorry.
curated a whole bunch of events you might be interested in, and I'm giving you, yes, you, the luxury of choice. No need to thank me. See what takes your fancy and just jump right in.
Oh,
if you find a style
I will.
you really connect with, and by all means, stick with it. But you can always mix it up with something a bit different. Hey, you never know where you might make a name for yourself. And this is all about making a name for yourself, right?
It is.
Yes, I am.
Okay,
right.
I didn't need to tell you that, AJ. Okay, so that's Alex Janacek, aka AJ, voiced by Troy Baker, who will sort of guide you as a bit of a mentor throughout the whole of career mode. So as you can see here, there's a bit of an introduction about how things work. So I'll walk you through it. So completing an event will unlock connected events. Selecting an event lets you review the event details and go to the track. Every event can give you stamps depending on your position. So that's basically how it works. Complete events, complete objectives within those events, and you earn rewards and stamps to help you progress through the career. And as you can see here, as we move along, there are multiple different paths you can go through. If there's one particular event you want to play over another, you can focus on that and then move on to the next part of career mode. It's about choice in Dirt 5, and you'll see that even more as we move along throughout the stream. So as I said, we ran the first event just to get through sort of the opening stages of the game. And now we're going to do both of these events, just literally because I just want to show you these two races, these two locations, because it's super cool. And I don't want you to miss out on any of the cool stuff. So let's start in China. Should we start in China with a land rush race? So this uses the cross raid class. So jump in. So here we got a few cars that we can choose from. So we've got two already unlocked. The Porsche Macan T1 Rally Raid, looking big and bold and fearsome. 360 brake horsepower. Jeez. Right, okay, and we've got the VW Race Touareg 3. So let's stick with one of these for now. Let's go with the Touareg. Yeah, let's focus on the Touareg. Maybe we'll use a different car later on if we come back into this class. But for now, let's focus on the Touareg. So as you can see here, that's obviously a stock livery. And as we're going to dive into a little bit later on, you can design different liveries for the car, and we're going to try that with one car a little bit later on. But also, there are some amazing liveries that have been designed for Dirt 5. One of my favorite things about the game that you can unlock as you complete objectives for sponsors, which we'll touch on in a second, and just generally progress through the game and earn reputation. So that's an awesome, I think we can rotate a little bit, hot sauce livery. It's been designed just super, super cool. You'll see so many cool designs like this as we go through the game. But for now, haven't unlocked it, because I'm a noob. So let's kick off with the stock livery for now. Oh,
sick coilovers because this land rush is gonna wreck
aha!
your day.
James, I gotta go. I left my sick coilovers at home.
Nolan, you're gonna need them. With rough circuits filled with tight turns and technical straights, small jumps that jostle you around, and a couple of big old boys to really test your suspension. Dirt or snow, anything goes. Buckle up, Cupcake. This is Land Rush.
Thanks, Buttercup.
Weren't you supposed to be gone already?
Thanks, James and Nolan. So as I was saying earlier, that's James Pumphrey and Nolan Sykes from Donut Media. So they'll do that. They're gonna chime in at different parts in the career mode, introducing you to different event types, like we just saw there for Land Rush. Oh, we got an error code there. That's fine. Don't worry about that. And yeah, they'll, with their podcast between events, they're also going to push the story along at times as well. Let's get into it then. So this is China. This is a land rush race using the cross raid class and the VW Touareg gameplay of Dirt 5. Here we go. I'm racing. I'm last already. Let's go. So as you can see on the left-hand side, you've got objectives as well as competing and doing well in the race, finishing high up the order that you can complete as you go along. So I've already done one, which is trade paint with another car. There's an objective to be first for 10 seconds and exceed 60 miles an hour for a certain amount of time. So, okay, and those objectives will, change up as you go into different events. But for now, I'm going to try and shut up a little bit, focus on the race so I don't embarrass myself. I'm in fourth, pretty good. Okay. Okay, I'll try and plan my attack here, or moving away from it a bit. China, I think, is a really, really great example of some of the variety you can get in Dirt 5's locations. The terrain is, we've got this really wet and muddy scenario here, but there are some scenarios in China where you're on tarmac or more dusty surfaces. A real mixture of different event types, but I really like this circuit-based land rush event. And as you can see through the weather in this particular event, it's a bit rainy, it's very wet, so you need some big old cars like these cross raid machines to take on the elements. Okay, one lap down, one to go. In third place, can I push ahead for the win? Whoa, they're so big, these cars, are trying to find a way around it. Davison second, get past him. Jay in the lead. Or we go inside line, managed to get over the title line. Later on, we'll touch on a bit more about things like handling and gameplay physics and stuff like that, because I know we had a couple of questions on our social media channels about things like that. So we'll make sure to touch on that as we go through these races. We're probably going to do around 6 or 7 different races today. We'll rattle through them. We'll talk about things like handling and gameplay and stuff like that. Okay, second place, about halfway through the final lap. Not looking too bad. The inside line. If I can go wide here. I love this track, and there are so many tracks like this, or a decent variety of tracks like this, where they've got so much high banking around some of the turns. It reminds me of some of the old routes from the likes of Dirt 3 and Dirt 2 as well. You can get big jump there, and you get big banking off the turns. So That's super, super cool. Right, final corner. Yes, I've got the inside line. Let's go. Let's do this. Haven't embarrassed myself first race. Bit of a look behind. See you later. P1. Give it the old Sebastian Vettel. Apricot. What's the deal with Apricot? Don't worry about it. Give it the old Seb Vettel. Number 1. P1. Third place. Second place. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Number 1. Oh, yeah. So that's a bit of an intro into Dirt 5's career mode. First race in China. Went pretty well. We're definitely going to have to do some upgrades on that livery a little bit later on. We'll see how that goes. So obviously at the end of the race, here's the rewards that you earn. So XP, reputation, currency you can use to buy cars and other items for your car, and for your own sort of personal profile, and then extra rewards you can unlock as well. Brilliant, we unlocked some really cool stuff. Alrighty.
So, Nolan, speaking of the current crop of racers, did you remember the name of that rookie that you were telling me about the other day?
Ace? Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, kind of funky name. Gonna be honest, a little jealous.
Hey now, man. James is a great, strong...
It is, and I'm looking over at James right now, my colleague, and it's a great strong name, isn't it? Yeah.
Popular boy's name. It means supplanter, or one who follows. You know, in the 17th century Scotland.
Are you reading off the internet?
I would never.
Nolan, I can see your phone. Put it away. You're just reading off the internet.
Okay.
You're an amazing wealth of information,
Yes.
Nolan. I'm sure people tuned into this to listen to name meanings. Let's talk about cars and racing.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, so that's an example of the Dirt podcast by Donut Media, which will chime in as you progress at certain times. The further you go along in the career mode, the more it will react to events that have happened in previous races and talk about the story that is upcoming and bring in the likes of AJ and Bruno. But for now, they're just kind of setting the scene as you move forward. So as I promised, let's go into the other race that's in sort of the second part of the first chapter. So we're going to head to Greece and we get a first look at the modern rally class, which is an exciting class. We've got a lot of questions about this. So here's one of the cars we've already unlocked, the Skoda Fabia Rally 2 Evo. Sweet car. We've had a lot of love for this one on social media when we shared some screenshots of this one, but some other awesome cars in here as well, which we've already confirmed, like the VW Polo, GTI R5, supercar, Citroen C3 R5, which we showed way back in May. I think it was in our reveal trailer and some opening screenshots. And recently announced, also in Dirt Rally 2.0, super cool in that game as well, Ford Fiesta R5 Mark II, the brand new Ford Fiesta R5. Really, really cool car. Let's stick with the one we got now. I'm a frugal person. I'm going to save my money and I'm going to stick with the Fabia for now. So let's go. It's a Rally Raid race. So Rally Raid is a point-to-point event in Dirt 5. So there are loads of these splattered throughout career mode, but also we're going to go into arcade a little bit later on very briefly, and you can see how you can just choose Rally Raid events from multiple locations and have fun with them. Like I said, they're point-to-point, as we're about to see. So it's not just circuit racing, there's a lot of point-to-point action in Dirt 5. We had some questions about that on socials as we were leading up to the streams, asking about if there is point-to-point racing in Dirt 5. Yes, it's here, you're looking at it right now. It's great. And this is an example of a Rally Raid race in Greece. So we're about to head uphill, I believe, and try and jostle for position. If I remember rightly, this is a competitive race. It can get very, very tricky as you go uphill. Difficult to get traction, difficult to stay up with the pace of the front runners. So I'm going to try and clear these guys early on. What we'll probably see as we progress through this race as well is Dirt 5's dynamic weather in action, which is something we're really pleased about. We've really tried to show off as much as possible since way back in May about how weather in races in Dirt 5 can just transform mid-race and just completely change the look, the feel, the tactics you have to employ for a race. So here you go, you can see rain begin to fall, and it's still a bit sunny, it's still pretty clear, but just a smattering of rain, and you'll just see over the next minute or so how that can just transform the look of a race and make things much more difficult, makes the car more difficult to handle, and all kinds of things like that you would expect if weather conditions were to change in the middle of an event like this. And I've not done what I said I should do, which is clear some of the field. I've done that a bit now. Managed to sneak in there from 6th to 3rd, triple send on the podium. But we want more than that. We want to win. We have standards to keep. We need to keep AJ happy. We need to keep him interested. We need to stay on his team and rise to the top. And the only way we're going to do that is winning races. Come on. P3, not bad. 50% of the way through this point-to-point race. Time to make up. Late braking, lovely stuff. P2, see you later, Shara. 190 rights. Bit of an S-bend here. Or there's a split here. Which way do I go? I'm gonna go the other way. He didn't do too bad, but I think I made up a little bit of ground for the split there. Whoa! Big jump. Here you go. So you can see the rain has really affected the event, especially here at the top of the route, or near the top of the route. So you can see the standing water now, and grip is just become much more difficult to. It's much more difficult to get grip and acceleration. But we'll do what we can. We'll soldier on, and we'll try and find a way to P1. Hello, helicopter. Getting some awesome shots of us. Only a few more turns to go. I need to find a way through here. Oh, looks good speed. No, he was good on the brakes there. Yashima. It's really coming down now. It's gotten very grey. I think at the start of the event it was so sunny and bright. Lightning strike is there as well there for good measure. It was so bright and sunny at the start of the event, and now it's just, you know, a bit of muddy grey. Here we go, the inside. P1. No. Stay there. One more big turn to go, I think. Stay. Another lightning strike. Dab a handbrake. Lovely stuff. Come on. Lightning strike to finish. P1. We did it again. Well done, team. Couldn't have done it without you. Best fans. Come on. P1. One thing worth mentioning at this point as well is about difficulty modes in career. Well, difficulty modes in all offline play, but in career mode as well as some of the event creator stuff, you can adjust the difficulty. So in the gameplay options, in the settings, we have 5 different difficulty modes that you can set. So if you're finding it you need more of a challenge, you can up it from medium to hard to very hard, and give yourself more of a challenge. Or if you're struggling a little bit, you can bring it back into one of the easy modes. So 5 different difficulty options in Dirt 5 to find what works for you. At the moment, this seems about right. It's challenging, but not so challenging that my ego is being damaged. So we're going to keep it at that. Okay. 2 events down. Let's go on to the Stampede event. So here's our first Stampede event, and we're going to go to Italy, the Crusher. So we actually showed some gameplay from Italy quite recently. If you check out our YouTube channel, we showed some gameplay of like an ultracross event, which you'll see a little bit more of in a moment. But they are quite tight and twisty circuit-based races. We showed off some of the World Rallycross cars that are in Dirt 5, which is super cool. Great to have those cars, like 600 brake horsepower in those mad machines, and we showed some really interesting Italy gameplay. So hoping to show some ultracross stuff soon, but for now, we're back into Cross Raid. Let's go with the Macan. We tried the Touareg in the first race. Let's go with the Macan for this one. 360 brake horsepower, 4-wheel drive. This is going to be fun. Here's some more liveries that you would unlock. Whoa! It's a feast for the eyes, that one. Quite like that, actually. Quite bold. You wouldn't miss that from the pack, would you? Oh, that one's super cool as well. Very cool. For now, because I haven't got the rep, we'll stick with stock for now. And like I said, we'll go into the livery editor a little bit later on. Ooh.
Is it thunder? Wrong! It's a stampede, but not of the traditional variety.
Snakes? Buff horses?
Wrong again! These thoroughbred animals run on gasoline and grit, throwing themselves into a pack of other racers across hard, natural landscapes.
Oh, cars. I should have known.
That's what this whole series is about, dude. It's all we talk about. Circuits are constructed on rough and often unmarked desert terrain with varied steepness and lots of jumps to be tackled. Saddle up, partner. It's a stampede!
It is a stampede. So yeah, these are some even more extreme events in Dirt 5, and this is a really good example of this. So Italy, a lot of the circuits in Italy in Dirt 5 basically run around, as you can see here from these sort of wide shots, this marble mine, this quarry that's sort of built into an old marble mine. It's an incredible layout, incredible place to build circuits around, but you're going to see some special stuff in here, and Stampede is a perfect fit for a place like this with some really extreme routes, lots of big undulation changes. And here we go. It's going to get busy. Contact already. Smashing and crashing. Trying to stay out of the way. Keep it to the inside. Stay safe. P7. That's not bad. Ooh, come on. Amazing. Some of these Cross Raid cars. They're huge. I think it said in the in the car select screen earlier on. It's like 1,700 kilograms worth of cars, Porsche Macan, but amazing power, 4-wheel drive, and they just makes them just the coolest things in the world to drive. Great addition to Dirt 5. 13 different car classes in Dirt 5, and we're going to show plenty of them here today. All the way from, you know, things like this to super lights like the Aerial Nomad, you know, like super light cars like that, just incredible stuff. I mentioned the rallycross cars earlier, modern rally stuff. Some classic rally cars from way back in the day, like Lancia Stratos or Ford Mustangs and stuff like that. And then some converted road cars that are perfect fits for off-road racing, like GTs and SUVs, like Cadillacs and Chevys and stuff like that. Just incredible stuff. And we will be announcing the full complete car list very, very soon. So keep an eye on our channels for that. We have shown most of them in screenshots, but we'll get a complete, full, confirmed list for you extremely soon. Love the look of this as you go up. You can see the light sort of bouncing off the ground as you go through this quarry. Split route again. Let's go to the left. Ooh, I avoided disaster there. I could have absolutely creamed into the side of that wall, but I got away with it. P7. Right, big jump coming up. We ready? Need to make up some ground in P2, but big jump coming up over the quarry. Beautiful view. I can't focus on that. Need to make a way up the field. Right, one lap to go. Make a little left bend here. More of a chicane, really. Right. Get a handbrake to get it turned. This isn't going well. This isn't going as well as the first two races. I think I maybe counted my blessings a little bit too much. Although I have snuck through there. P3. Bad. Look at that view of the quarry and the racetrack as you head down. Just an amazing route. One of many amazing routes in the game for Italy. Just one of my personal favourite locations. Just super cool. Right. One dive up the inside. That is P2. Take a wide line, stay out of trouble. Carry the speed. This speed. Not bad. A few more laps to go. A few more corners to go. Let's try and get Santi, the P1. Got a good line here. Brake, yes. Oh, a little bit of a clip of the tyres on the inside. Don't worry about it, it will buff out. Let's go wide. Oh no, that's too wide. Too wide. Right, what can we do? Do I stay left again? Do I stay left? No, I'm going right, I'm going right. Wasn't too bad. Oh, they're pulling away. This isn't good. 100% record is on the line here. P2. Oh, that's not good. I'm not going to get good speed into the jump. Let's go. Go. I might lose third. No, no. Not even on the podium. Not even on the podium. Or. I'm sorry everybody, I know you had high expectations, but terrible. I'll do better. Not even in the end screens. Cool. I'll try and pick myself up from that and move on. But we still get rewards, we still complete objectives. We get XP and reputation and currency, and you unlock things as you go along for some of the other things that you did during the event. Unfortunately, there are a lot of, I've just been informed, there are a lot of Fs in the chat, which is, I don't think I'm going to recover. But yeah, Fs in the chat, please, for that terrible performance. I feel like I've let the chat down, and I apologise. I will do better. Okay, despite that terrible performance, we've opened up two more events that we can progress through because we've done well in the other events as well. So we've got two events. Should we show them? I think we've got two options here. They both use the Formula Off-Road car, which if you haven't seen it yet, can't wait to show you. Let's go South Africa, which is another rally raid event, which means that it's point to point. And this is the car we're going to use. Absolutely bonkers WS Auto Racing Titan, which is a Formula Off-Road class, which is a standalone class in Dirt 5. These insane cars, all-wheel drive, 850 brake horsepower, insane power. And we're going to try and take it around a rally raid route alongside Table Mountain in South Africa. So wish me luck. Of course, there are some liveries for this one as well. Looking awesome. Actually does it really cool. You can see there actually that's a livery that you can unlock through career just by completing main events, which are basically like showpieces to end each chapter. So if you complete main events, you unlock certain liveries. So in that instance, you unlock that livery, which is super cool. But for now, we'll stick with the green stock livery and try a bit of rally raid. This is going to be tough, but we'll see what we can do. So I don't know if anybody saw some of the Xbox Series X footage yesterday, which I mentioned at the top of the stream, but some of this event was also shown in that event, just looking insane on, settings cranked up to the max on the Series X. But we're going to give this a go, try and bring back some of our reputation. Let's go. If I remember rightly, things get very interesting here already. About 5 wide there. Oh god, okay. Don't hit me into the rocks. Okay, that's done it pretty well. Oh, that's, you hate to see that. Unfortunate. I've managed to just about stay in the running. Can't find a way through. Let me through! Late braking. Okay. If I can get out of that pack of cars. No. If I can get out of that pack of cars, we should be alright. P3. Just chase down the top 2. Split route coming up. I'm going to go left. Oh, it's tight. I feel like I should have gone to the right. Definitely should have gone to the right. Ooh, it's okay. Style it out, style it out. So you can see here, rally raid often brings different kinds of terrain in different races. So we've switched here to some tarmac action. We'll go back into the dirt in a moment's time, but it really mixes things up, and these really tight, intricate routes, so I can get punted off to the side. And you can see here the dynamic weather in play again. So the amazing sunset here in South Africa begins to come down. It's going to get real dark in a minute, I think, and we're going to have to battle through that. But on P1, let's try and keep it that way. The inside, stay defensive. The headlamps are on. It's gonna get dark. Oh dear. Oh, stay behind. You can see that, that white arrow that pops up from time to time behind me is indicating where opponents are, and you can see them for yourself right now. Oh! Get off my track. Oh, averted disaster there. Split route. Let's go this way. Okay, right, where are they? Okay. Come on. 3/4 of the way through this rally raid event. Beautiful look there over the sea at South Africa. Let's go left this time. Should I have done that? Feels alright. Everybody else went left, so I can just try and keep them behind me. Big jump, fireworks going off. Don't you dare. Thank you very much. Oh, big jump, very low visibility. No! Oh no! I would take P4, to be honest, if I've got to take P4. Such a difficult event, this one. Big run to the line. To the top 3 is too far ahead. I'm going to have to take P4 again. I'm more okay with that P4 than the P4 in the last event, I've got to say. That was a very difficult event. That Formula Off-Road car is just an absolute monster. So on a route like that, it's such a challenge. Fun challenge, but a challenge. So I'll take P4, and I think we should still be able to progress. If not, we'll do it again, and you have to sit here and wait until I complete it. Looking good there on my podium. Got a few questions here that I'm going to pick up. So we asked for some questions on social media before we did the stream. So also asked in our Discord, which I mentioned earlier. Shout out again to the Discord community. So Unfinished Thought on Discord asked, I'm sure it might have been discussed before, but will different weather types affect our handling? So we've seen that already, even just in the first couple of events in career mode. You've seen how, grip and acceleration become so much more difficult when the rain starts to fall and changes things up. So yes, in a word, changes things heavily. And we're going to see events coming up with snow and more rain, and instances, other scenarios, other weather types that really, really mix things up in terms of handling. So yes, basically, to answer your question. Question here from one of our Racing Ahead players, which is Joe R247. Thanks for sending in your question, Joe. How is progression? Do you jump in with the best cars, or do you slowly progress up the ranks? Are there any special events like F1 Career Mode with invitationals and things like that? So you'd already seen as we progress through the career that you start with a couple of cars, but you earn currency as you go through, which allows you to unlock more cars, unlock more items for those cars, such as liveries or things you can add to your livery, which we'll touch on later on. So yeah, there's that progression system, and you get a chance to really try out all the different locations in the game, 10 different locations, I believe. So yeah, there is that progression element to it. You're not just giving everything straight away. Okay. Oh, I've got a couple more questions there, just a couple messages from the chat. So Blaine in the chat, thanks for joining us, Blaine, and thanks for your question. Is damage purely visual, or will it affect performance? Is there an option to have it be purely visual as well? So we mentioned this super early on, actually. We did some early, activities and media stuff way back in May, and we talked about how the Dirt 5 damage system is visual only. So yeah, so mechanical damage doesn't occur in Dirt 5. It's all about how it can affect things like bodywork, and you'd have seen through some of my questionable driving in the last few races that, yeah, you can, when you crash and make contact with the environment or with other cars, damage occurs, yes, but only visual for Dirt 5, just to make sure you're always competitive, always staying in the race, and it means that you can have that regular contact and rubbing with other racers. So yeah, visual only for Dirt 5. Okay, so we'll touch on a couple more questions as we go through career. But we've opened a new event, and this is a fun one. So, Ultracross, Norway, and that looks like a hell of a lot of snow. So, let's have some fun with this. Back into the Ultracross class. We used Fabia, so what I want to do right now, we've got 3 other cars that we can purchase, which we touched on before. Let's ask the chat. Chat, which of these 3 cars would you like us to purchase? And the first one that's mentioned in the chat, we will purchase. So we've got the Ford Fiesta R5 Mark II. We've got the Citroen C3 R5. We've got the VW Polo GTI R5. Whichever one comes up first in the chat, we're waiting right now. We will purchase and we will drive for you, and hopefully not in it. Ooh. We got a C3. I heard a C3. Let's buy the Citroen C3 R5. Let's go. Okay. Thank you, Fabio. You served us well. Maybe we'll touch back on you later. Now we've got the C3. And we can see their livery. That's pretty cool livery. I like that. Slightly more simple than some of the other ones, but still looks super, super cool. I like the C3. That's part of the car design, but that C3 on the side, super cool. Nice job, Citroen. Yeah, it's a cool livery. We can actually use that one, so I'm going to use it. There's the Amd Livery, which we have shown in some footage and some screenshots from, for months now. Shout out to Amd. Got some great friends over there. And we're big fans of this livery, super cool. And this one as well, Snap-on livery. That's actually very, very cool as well. I really like some of the liveries in this game and how they sort of combine, your traditional like race liveries with some really artistic designs. But now we're going to go with this one. Looks super cool.
What happens when you combine street racing and off-road terrain?
Off-street road terrain racing.
No. You get Ultracross, a high-speed discipline on custom-made tracks designed for fast cars and even faster drivers.
What does that even mean? The person is going faster than the car?
Can I get back to explaining this, or do we have to talk physics?
All right, carry on.
These events emphasize pack racing, with wide turns and S-bends to test your cornering, long straights to get your speed up, and crossovers so you can see just how far ahead you are.
Okay, so that's Ultracross. Thank you, James and Nolan from Donut Media. And you can see some footage there. That's how it works. Tight and twisty circuits. So this one's in Norway. And we're going to see some more dynamic weather in action here. And it's very, very cool. Alrighty then, let's go. Citroen C3 R5, first time on the road. Let's do this. If I remember rightly, as the snow begins to fall in this race, grip becomes very, very tricky. So I'm going to try and hit the front early on to make up for any errors I make further along the line. So if you're just joining us, welcome to this live stream of Dirt 5, official Codemasters live stream of Dirt 5. We're showcasing the career mode for the very first time. We're playing through the first chapter career mode. We're a few events in. Currently on a Ultracross event in Norway with the modern rally class, and I'm doing terribly. And some things I mentioned at the top of the stream that are worth reiterating. We've got some disclaimers in the top left of the screen, but this is a work in progress build using PC running at 1440p. Obviously, you know, greater settings and and more high-tech setups will be available on launch. We just want to focus on a stream today just for different modes and features, but you can run it even greater quality than that, much greater quality than that on launch. So look out for that. And if you want to see some footage of Dirt 5 running at an even higher spec than this, we dropped, well, some of our partners and friends dropped a load of Xbox Series X preview content yesterday, including some footage of the game running at 120 FPS, which is amazing, absolutely stunning, and we love some of the feedback we got on that. So make sure to check that out after this stream, after you watch me fail. Shall we, because we haven't done it yet, get out of chase cam and do maybe a bit of hood cam? Let's go. We'll do a cockpit cam maybe after this race. For now, let's go with some bonnet cam. And it's another layer of just like immersion, especially with the blizzard, with the impending blizzard just flying at you. Where are we up to? 6th. Right, I need to make progress. Let's go. I also mentioned at the top of the stream that we're not using music. So the official soundtrack for Dirt 5 isn't used in the stream, just because we want to avoid any issues with stuff like copyrights or stuff like that, just to make sure we could get this footage out to you. But in the game there's an official soundtrack, you know, over 40 artists, an amazing soundtrack, an amazing lineup. The likes of Stormzy and the Chemical Brothers, I mentioned these earlier, The Prodigy, Dinosaur Pilot, Pearl Jam, technical director David Springate, if you're watching, I know you're a massive fan of Pearl Jam, me too, super cool that Pearl Jam are in the game. But we're not using it just for this stream. But if you want, the official soundtrack is available to listen to right now on Spotify. So if you just search up Dirt 5 soundtrack, I'm sure you can find it. And all the confirmed tracks are on there right now for you to listen to. So maybe you could just chuck it on in the background whilst you're watching me, maybe drown me out. But one thing worth mentioning, which we didn't say at the top of the stream, is that the music isn't just available in, you know, menus and as you're sort of going into a race event. The music plays if you want to during the race event as well. You can listen to the music as the race events take place, which isn't always the case for driving games, but we really, really wanted that to be in this game, and we're so pleased it's in there. And not just that, but there are 2 different options. So in the audio settings, you'll see an option for 2D and an option for 3D. So 2D basically means the soundtrack will play at the same volume level all the way through a race at the volume that you set it to. So you can listen to the music, just straight the same volume all the way through. 3D means that the music and the soundtrack and volume will react as you go around the racetrack. So there'll be moments in each race where you go past a certain part of the track that has a speaker and has a crowd there, and the soundtrack will increase and get louder as you go past it, and then decrease again as you go beyond it. So it's that's what they mean by 3D. So it is dynamic and changes as you go through. So you can choose, or if you don't like the idea of music during races, switch it off. It's totally fine. So there's multiple different options there for you to make use of. I need to make my way through these final 3 here and try and get a good finish in the final lap. Headlamps on, we need them. It's gonna get dark. Send it! Ooh, okay, P2. Big jump coming up. Be brave. He's gone a bit wide. Can I sneak in? I can! Get in! Lovely line through there, if I say so myself. A few more corners to go. Let's hold on to the win. Wheels, don't fail me now. Come on. Here's the line. Bit of a gap. We did it. P1, back on top. Grazie ragazzi. Get in. Good to see. After 2 fairly disappointing performances, which we won't talk about again. P1, back on top. That was an example of just... I've talked over a lot of it, but some of the dynamic weather at play there, you can see now this is massive blizzard, and it started as this sort of sunset with not much snow coming from the sky. There's a lot on the ground, but not much in the sky. And it just completely changes the way an event feels, so super, super cool. Some more XP, some more rep, good stuff. More dollars, more dirt dollars. Apparently GG's in chat, thank you, that means a lot. Swift recovery from consecutive P4s. 2 more events unlocked, and we're going to do one of them. We're going to do, yes, so well, that's what we wanted to do. We're going to show a bit more snow action, and we're going to go back to some of the cross-raid action. We're going back to Italy, but this is a good example showing how, you know, we've got 10 different locations and over 70 different routes in the game, but even then, that just scratches the surface in terms of variety, because every location and every route can be completely transformed by what the weather is like at each of those events. So we recently in an earlier race, we did this event where it was fairly clear and sunny skies. Now we're going to do this event where there's snow coming down and it just transforms it. So we traced each. Let's go back to the Tuareg for this one. And I'm going to use hot sauce livery. This is super cool. Back to Stampede, back to Italy. But as you'll see, as we load in, that very different setup, very different look. There's going to be less grip, there's going to be less visibility. It's going to be more difficult. Let's see what we can do. And we'll try a different camera angle for this one as well. Shall we go? Some cockpit cam. Let's go. I want to make sure we show as many different camera angles as possible, so I cycled through a couple there, but I know that some players are big chase cam players, some people are all in on cockpit. Like many different Codemasters games, Dirt games, we've got multiple different camera angles that are, optimized, and we make sure that it's a great gameplay experience no matter what kind of camera angle you decide to go with. So me personally, most of my time playing racer games, I'm a chase cam guy, but recently I've gone more and more into cockpit cam. I really enjoy that, just that extra sort of detail that you get sometimes in that view, especially in F1 2020. I've been playing that a lot. It looks super, super cool in cockpit cam. So, behind the wheel of this absolute monster, this unit, and we need to make our way through the field. Uphill we go. Try and stay out of trouble. Big right-hander coming up. Nice. Try and answer another question actually here whilst we're going through the race. So there's a question from Crunchy Mud in the chat. Thank you, Crunchy Mud, for joining the stream, sending us a question. I wonder how many tools you can have in playgrounds and how much you can build. So we'll very briefly at the end of this show touching on playgrounds, just in case anybody hasn't seen it. But if you haven't, you're in for a treat, because playgrounds is incredible. So we'll touch on it more a little bit later on. Playgrounds is our user-generated, arena-created mode. So we basically give all players the tools to create custom racing arenas. Absolutely incredible. First time ever we've seen something like this in the Dirt franchise. We announced it back in August, I believe, and when we announced it, we also gave the opportunity for some of our friends that are racing ahead content creators to have a go at designing some stuff themselves. And some of the creations that we saw, absolutely nuts. Just boggles my mind, the creativity of some of those people. I'm going to try and give some shout outs now to some of the people who created some mega tracks. So yeah, I'll get onto that in a sec. But Playground is just an amazing mode, which we'll touch on briefly towards the end of the stream. That just means you can design dream racing arenas like Gymkhana arenas, or Smash Attack, where you have to find obstacles and smash them, or Gatecrasher, which is basically checkpoint races. You can design the event of your dreams, and then you can upload it to our database of user-generated content, and from there you can find the best creations from the entire community. So yeah, we're incredibly excited that on top of this amazing gameplay that we're showing you, the sort of core racing gameplay and career mode and everything else, we've got Playground, which is this huge mode, which is going to be so much fun all the way, so long after launch, being working with players and spotlighting some of your creations, which we're going to be able to do in the game and on social channels, highlighting and featuring some of your best creations, which is going to be amazing. But yeah, so we had a chance for some creators to give it a go a few weeks back, and shout out to the likes of Don Juan Song, is a creator that I'm sure many of you already know, a fantastic guy, who created some amazing footage and some amazing tracks. GTR Merginator, shout out to you, amazing tracks, some amazing tracks that you designed. Chrono Speed 6, some amazing designs as well. Just loads of other designers. I watched some live streams, some of the likes of Shiny Odd and a few other creators like that. Just amazing designs. And I'm going to blame that monologue for me finishing 6th, middle of the pack. That's my fault for talking a lot about Playgrounds whilst we were racing. But I just wanted to wax lyrical about Playgrounds because it's super cool, and shout out some of the amazing racing ahead creators. We'll give that another go if we have to, if it doesn't progress us. But I'll accept that. I'll learn from my mistakes and be better. We've got some rewards. Such a cool livery. We showed it in some screenshots couple of weeks ago, and really, really cool. Speaking of people that we've worked with and talking about liveries, so obviously we've got an incredible art team in-house who've created many of these designs that you'll see in the game for liveries. But we've also worked with some external creators as well. So if you've heard, you may have heard of the likes of Sean Ball, who's a fantastic livery creator, fantastic designer, who's made some amazing liveries, which we've probably shown many of them already in the game. Make sure to check him out on Twitter and Instagram. Some amazing designs that he's made in Dirt 5. Also, the brilliant Death Spray Custom, who made some superb designs as well. Some really out there stuff, some stuff you would never see in some other racing games. Some really, really out there, creative, bold stuff. So shout out to those guys, made some awesome designs. Okay, so now we've moved on to 2 brand new event types, and I'm terrified about trying to be good at both of these. We're going to try Gymkhana first. I know a lot of people are excited about Gymkhana coming back to Dirt 5. So let's try and show it off. So yeah, I'm going to jump right in and try and give it a go and try and not embarrass myself. Let's keep the C3 for now with the cool design. We'll come back to the Fabia a little bit later. But let's go with C3.
If I say Gymkhana, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Donuts. Cars doing
Yes.
donuts.
What's the second thing that comes to mind?
Horses not doing donuts.
Correct. But you were right.
Look at that donut media livery. So cool.
Baby. Just to be clear, I'm talking about cars, not actual horses.
Yes.
Got it.
Drift, jump, and donut your way to success in these custom-built stunt arenas.
You need to string together tricks and stunts and post the best score you can in the allotted time.
That's
Keep the crowd
Subaru.
hyped and don't get motion sick.
Yeah, don't mess up the interior.
We'll have to hose it out, and we're gonna charge you.
Yes. So Gymkhana, if you've played Dirt 3, Dirt Showdown, Gymkhana, massive part of the history of Dirt. So much fun. You know, personally, from my perspective, you know, one of the games that got me into Codemasters, got me into racing games was Dirt 3 and Gymkhana, and that was so much fun. And we've, you know, recreated that and brought it back to life in Dirt 5. So really excited about this. So as I mentioned before, this is obviously a work in progress PC build. So some of the visuals in like some of the playgrounds designs, as you'll see here for a Gymkhana event, aren't spot on, but it's being optimized. It's a work in progress build. So yeah, so there might be some visual stuff that isn't totally up to spec, but you'll get the gist of it. Let's kick off with a not too bad donut around that little section. Let's crack some of these smash gates. And then let's go for this jump. The key to Gymkhana is about stringing together different tricks, different objectives. Some more smash gates, more smash blocks. Big drift gate coming up. Didn't get the drift. More smash block, big jump. 360 zone. Hit the handbrake. Oh, just went wide. Yes. Donut. Let's go. Yes. Do another 360. Try and nail it first time. Not bad. More splash box. Let's go. 30 seconds left. More time. All about car control, throttle control, and handbrake in Gymkhana. It's all about keeping the car sideways, but maintaining control. More flash blocks. Go for the drift gate. You can see at the top of the screen, obviously, there's the points coming in, but there's also a combo meter. So obviously, the bigger your combo, the more points you'll score. Got 3 seconds left. Let's try and sneak in another donut. No, not gonna reach it. That was all right. That was okay. Yeah, so that's a first glimpse. Well, not first glimpse, but a first glimpse in the stream of Gymkhana in Dirt 5. Awesome to have it back. Gymkhana will use, you know, I was just talking about playgrounds and the arena creation. Gymkhana will use those playgrounds tools to create these Gymkhana arenas. So that's just one example. There'll be loads of different Gymkhana arenas. That one that you're seeing here is based in Cape Town Stadium in South Africa. There's also a playgrounds arena in Arizona, which also has a playgrounds arena. So that's an outdoor space for some Gymkhana antics as well.
You see that?
Ooh.
Events like these, that's what we're after. The big headline-grabbing showstoppers. But they don't just let anyone enter, not even if AJ asks very nicely. So how do I get that golden ticket, I hear you ask? Well, my friend, you gotta work your magic elsewhere.
Okay.
You win a race here, you get your reputation there, and generally just do the absolute best you can. Well, how'd that happen? Here I am explaining how it works, and there you go, boom, main event.
Main events are at the end of each chapter. To compete in a main event, you need enough stamp. To unlock the next chapter, you need to finish at least third. Can we do it? Before we do the main event, which is another Stampede event, we are, although yes, because if I play this Pathfinder event, we can unlock the China event, which I really want to show. So, let's show off another new event type, Pathfinder. With this beast, this monster, WS Auto Racing Mudclaw, an absolute unit of a vehicle, 600 brake horsepower, nearly 2,000 kilos. Let's go.
What's this Pathfinder event all about?
You gotta be real brave or clinically insane
Yes.
to want to race on these tracks.
I think a bit from column A and a dash from column B is ideal.
Pathfinder features the most hardcore off-road terrain in the whole Dirt Off-Road series.
That's right, it's just you, your custom-built rock-crawling machine, on-point navigation skills, and the unforgiving march of Father Time.
Father who?
Father Time is the personification of time. In recent centuries, he is often depicted as having a beard. James, you have a beard.
Oh my god, am I?
You're always wearing a watch as well.
I am Father Time.
Yeah.
Behold my power over time itself.
What are you doing?
Manipulating time itself.
Oh,
I don't think you are, James. Sorry. I think you're just James.
Who is this James? I only respond to Father Time or his
timeliness.
Why are you always late?
I've heard that before, and I'm convinced that that last line from Nolan is an ad-lib. That why are you always late? I think that's an ad-lib and wasn't even on the script. Super cool. Yes, so I mean we've shown a little bit of gameplay of this before, but this is Pathfinder, which, full disclosure, but you know, one of the first times that I viewed Dirt 5 way back when, and I got a glimpse at this event. This is what caught my eye and made me go, wow, this is something cool. So this is something again that we haven't really seen in the Dirt franchise before. So this is point-to-point, extreme off-road route where it's almost as much about survival as it is about posting a quick time. The undulation that you're about to see in this is bonkers, and it's all about throttle control, maintaining momentum, and finding a way to the finish line. We'll get back into chase cam. Here comes the sun. Right. There's some amazing views of like the terrain and the route as we get further on this route, as we go up the hill here in Morocco. Big jump, you know, big natural landscapes as the Donut Media guys were saying in that intro. But just make it so difficult to keep control. Let's get up here, the view, look at that. Insane view. Right. Focus on the racing. I've got a job to do. Navigate. The undulation changes in events like this. So there's, you know, there's Pathfinder events in Italy, in Arizona, as well as this one in Morocco. Keep it on the straight and narrow. Incredible. Yeah, so there's multiple different Pathfinder events in different locations, but this is what it's all about. These really intricate, tricky, extreme routes that boggle the mind, just turning natural landscapes into racetracks. Super cool. Look at this. Get up, full beans. Nailed it. Don't overshoot. Okay, making good ground. Hold the speed, and this as well, because the car is so heavy and got so much power. When you go downhill, it can be difficult to just rein it in and not go careering into the wall at the bottom of the hill. All right, here we go. We've got some natural stairways here to overcome. Ooh, gone a bit deep into there. Oh, yep, sorry about that, mate. No! Full power! Just about got away with it. We go into like some old ruins or something like that. Old sort of man-made landscape now. We come towards the end of the event. So Pathfinder events are exclusive to this rock bouncer car. So this is like the only car capable of, you know, overcoming this kind of terrain because it's so extreme. And I'm doing a fairly decent job of overcoming it. There we go. That's a really good look at Pathfinder events in Dirt 5, something brand new to the franchise, which is really cool to have. And yeah, as you go through career and in the offline modes, you'll be able to select those events, different kinds of Pathfinder events, to change the weather conditions, to mix things up again. Really, really cool. Look at all that confetti. They love me. And there we go. So we've unlocked the main event of China. So we've got two options. I think we'll go with the China one. Before we get into the main event, I've promised having a look at the livery editor. So we're going to do that. So back out into the menu we go. Look, everyone bounces sitting proudly in our garage. So if we go into garage and choose, let's choose Porsche. Let's choose Porsche 911 RGT, which we've shown plenty of. So this is part of the GT class, which is super cool. Like I said, some like cars that are more built for the road, but can be perfect fits for the racetrack. We've seen it in other dirt games how GT cars like the 911 can be turned into off-road monsters. So let's make a livery for it. So obviously, like I said, this is a work in progress build, but this is close to final, but we're still making some final tweaks. But we still wanted to show off a first glimpse at the livery editor in Dirt 5, which is the most in-depth livery editor we've had in the franchise, which is great. So we're going to show it off. So yeah, so you've got multiple patterns or layers basically that you can add onto your car, and as you progress in the game, earn more XP, you unlock more patterns to choose from. And you unlock more layers basically. So at the moment we've got our base layer and then a pattern on top of that we can use. But even just with this one option, there are so many different ways you can customize that, as we're about to see. So we've got the base layer here. So, and then you've got layer 1, layer 2. So I change the colors. You can see it changes different parts of the car. So it's not just different colors, it's different finishes. So matte, metallic, special finish. Really cool stuff. Some of the stuff that, you know, I know Dirt fans have been asking for a really long time is to have customization options like this, which is really cool. In a recent gameplay video, we showed one car had like pearlescent color changing wheel rims. You can do that. that's an option. You can have like pearlescent wheel rims, which is super cool and it's really noticeable when you're out on track. So I'm going to make a terrible design here, so please don't judge me for that. I'm just using this as an example of how you can mix things up. So let's do a gloss and go for like a blue. And then if we select that and back out and choose layer 3, we can change up this part of the layer as well, which is great. Change that to like a lighter blue, almost like a turquoise, like a really light blue. Now, so also with the layers, you can choose textures. So you've got like a striped one there, and you've got different ones that you unlock as you progress, which is really cool. So let's unlock one. Let's, I think this one looks super cool. So let's buy that. We bought it. Looks great. You can move it. You can adjust it. So I'm doing that now. You can move it around. You can rotate, make smaller and bigger. So that's how that works. So each layer has its own sort of subsections where you can add textures as well. And the more that you progress through the game, the more options unlock for you. Away from that, you've got Decal Editor as well. So you've got 3 options. So either side of the car and then on the top of the car. So let's say this side of the car, and you've got stickers as a starter that you can unlock as you progress in the game. Let's choose that one. Looking awesome. And let's move it so we can rotate, make short, bigger, rotate. Let's our little vampire friend here. So you can do that on both sides of the car, you can do it on top of the car, and as you saw, there's more that you can unlock through the game. So those are stickers, and then you've got sponsors, real world sponsors you can add onto your car. So let's pick some random, well, say 3 at random. I want to pick our good friends at Donut Media and drop their decal as well. So it's got rid of the sticker because I need to shift the sticker because it's on top of that one. So you can lay on top sponsors and stickers, so it will remove it for you, and then you can go back and then add the sticker into a place that it fits. We've got donut on there. Let's go with that. Sponsor number 2, let's say Advan. Sponsor number 3, let's say Beats. Good friends at Beats. So we've got some awesome Beats liveries in the game. Sponsor 4. Keep on scrolling. Bilstein. They're shocks. There we go. And then you've got your 4 sponsors, but you can change the layout. So there's an option there for having a bit more sort of along the bottom, or switching up to like that. Looks great. Looks, you got 4 different options there. And so I've just merely scratched the surface of what you can do in the livery editor. There's so much in here that I haven't shown. But there's an example of the livery creator in Dirt 5. Let's do a little mooch around. So you can see as I added sponsors and changed the layout, it adds on to other parts of the car as well. Super cool. Our little donut 911 RGT. So we now saved it, and that'll be now in the garage, ready for us whenever we want to use the Porsche 911 in an event. And it's in our garage. Look at that. It looks super cool. Back to career. Let's finish off the first chapter, and let's go to China. Let's do one more chat selection. I want to go. Yeah. So let's choose. So let's choose from 2 different options. We can use 2 different options. We've got the Peugeot 3008 DKR Maxi, or we've got the Lafitte G-Tech X-Road, which is an amazing car which we've shown in some of our screenshots. I think it's the first time it's appeared in a video game. 2 options for you: the Peugeot 3008 Dakar Maxi, or the Lafitte G-Tech X-Road. First comment in the chat using either of those names. We're going to buy that car. We're going to race it in the main event of the first chapter of Dirt 5. Drum roll. Got a little drum roll on my head. Wish we had a little sound bite, but we don't. It's Peugeot 3008 Dakar Maxi, DKR Maxi. Buy. Our garage is getting rather hefty. 3 Crossway vehicles now. So we've got stock livery, and then some awesome liveries that have been designed. That is super cool. K&N livery. That's a proper Dakar looking car, isn't it? That's so cool. Some more like artistic designs. That's really cool. Lots of liveries for this one. That's great. Really like that actually. As you can see actually on the back there, you can see it's got Sean Ball's name on it. That is a Sean Ball design, one of our livery designers. Thank you, Sean, for creating some of these amazing liveries. And we've got that one, which is really out there. Official Codemasters represent our livery. We'll unlock those. You'll unlock those as you progress through the game and you compete with different sponsors. But for now, let's stick with stock. Let's go back to China. Some slightly different weather conditions. Probably a little bit of a tougher event. What's the problem? What's the problem? Yeah, and we're going to finish the first chapter of career mode here in China with the Peugeot 3008 Dakar Maxi. Let's go, and let's change the camera view for this one to... Let's go. Good cam. As I bin it into the wall straight off the start. Ouch. Really like that sort of sunset view here in China. So obviously when we played China earlier on in the stream, it was raining, it was a bit dark and drizzly, and now the rain is beginning to come in now. And it can just dynamically change on the fly in every event. Lots of water kick up there as we go through the puddles, making my way through P3. Can we finish on a high? It said finish in the top 3 to unlock the next chapter. We'll try and do that, but let's go for P1. End on a high. Come on, Freeman, me and you. If we do progress through this main event, we'll probably get a bit more information about sponsorships, which is a really interesting part of Dirt 5 career mode as well. So you'll get to see a bit of a closer look at that, which is really cool. And then after that, we're going to take a very quick look at Playgrounds, which I mentioned earlier, and Arcade, which is our offline single player or multiplayer with split screen. We'll touch on that as well. Event creator, so we'll go into that. 3-lap race this main event, so I think it was 2 laps initial, so they've extended it a bit. Like I said earlier on, difficulty is changeable for career mode. So if you're ever in career mode and you're finding it too much of a challenge, or you're finding it too easy, then you can change up the difficulty. 5 different difficulty options for you to choose from. The other thing as well to keep in mind is you're sort of tweaking the game to make it a perfect fit for your style is the assists. So we have 3, I think it's 3, maybe even more, preset assist levels that you can use that switch off things like anti-lock brakes, traction control, things like that. Or you can customize those to your heart's content. You can mix it up and have a custom setup that works for your style of driving. So traction control off or on, anti-lock brakes off or on, stability control, things like that. So mix things up. We had a question, I think it was from Instagram, yeah. Someone on Instagram earlier was asking about handling physics and how that compares to a game like maybe Dirt 4, so the last game in the series. So obviously in Dirt 4 there were multiple different, set modes of gameplay, of handling physics. In Dirt 5, like I said, we've got those multiple options in terms of assists and in terms of difficulty options. We've said it from the start, compared to a game like the fantastic Dirt Rally 2.0, it's a much more accessible experience. The handling model is a bit more forgiving than what you'll see in Dirt Rally 2.0, but it's still a sliding scale. So you can build in a challenge by turning everything off if you want. So there are options there. On the whole, it's a more hyper-real, accessible experience than you'll find in a game like Dirt Rally 2.0, but that's the purpose. It's good to have different kinds of racing games to suit everybody in. If you're a big fan of your sim-heavy games like Rally, it's good to have a change of pace game like this to kick back and play with your friends and have a bit more of a casual experience with it. And that's awesome. On the same scale, if you love this game and this is your first foray into the world of Dirt, you can really challenge yourself further from a simulation point of view with Dirt Rally 2.0 and see how you fare there. Good to have different kinds of options. Right, a couple more corners to go. I should really focus in. I think we're looking good for a podium unless I really mess this up. Get inside, get inside, get inside. Yes! Yes! Come on! Let's go! P1! Yes! P1, main event. Don't care about Apricot. Let's go. That was only a 10th and a half. I left that one close. But P1 to finish the chapter. You love to see it. Third, who cares? Second, good job. P1, a little bit worse for wear. The car, we were talking about the damage model earlier. There's a bit of it in action thanks to my misdemeanors. Loads of rewards because we finished the chapter, which is great. Unlock new liveries, new cars, new stickers, new customization items. Great. Still just about on level 3. Awesome. Okay.
I know what you're thinking. Why am I suddenly going all over the world in really amazing cars, almost no questions asked? Well, don't think too hard about it. Save your brain cells for where you need them, on the track. All you need to know is you're doing well. And there's brands out there that want to be attached to your name. And here's the nice bit. You get to choose who suits you best.
Nice.
So get reading the finer details because they're all going to demand different things from you. And each sponsor will offer different rewards, too. The final thing to consider is loyalty. You can only go so far with some sponsors, so don't be afraid to jump ship for a higher reward further down the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about keeping you racing, all right?
All right. So, yeah, as AJ, a.k.a. Troy Baker, explained better than I ever could, this is sponsorships in Dirt 5 career mode. So real-world brands, real-world sponsors that you can choose from to sponsor your career as you progress, and you unlock rewards that are exclusive to that brand, that company, to that name as you progress, which is great. So sponsors give you money for racing. Your current sponsor is Codemasters. Thanks. Access their details on the dedicated tab. So as you can see there, there's rank. This is the rank that you've leveled up to. It's up to 15 levels you can progress through. Pay for every race and then a bonus. This shows your current sponsor reputation. Yeah, so that's your rep. To increase your reputation, you need to complete objectives. Objectives differ from sponsor to sponsor. Increasing your reputation rank will grant you unique rewards. Every sponsor gives you different rewards. Each sponsor has a set amount of races, a contract that they want you to complete. If you stay around longer, they will get you. This will get you a loyalty bonus. You can change your sponsor anytime, but if you leave during your contract, you will lose reputation. So that explains it really well. So you can stick with one sponsor and unlock everything they have to offer, or you can mix it up and go with different companies. So like AJ said, or like the messages said, we're with Codemasters. If we switched up to Amd, which is an in-game sponsor, they have a higher race pay. Bonus comes in 3 races. They have some interesting objectives there. But we have to start from rank 1, which means we'll have to level up a lot to unlock their rewards. Let's switch it up. Why not? To Amd. And that is chapter 1 of career mode in Dirt 5. And as you can see here, you then progress through to all these different events. So that's chapter 2. So there's so much choice. You can decide how you progress in career mode, which is one of the best things about it. So, places like Nepal and Brazil, you'll get to jump into some more difficult and testing events as Arizona. Yeah, so That's just a taste of what you'll get in career mode in Dirt 5, but that's how it works. And one thing we haven't touched on too much is throwdowns. So these are, showpiece events that you unlock as you complete objectives, which are basically hidden objectives as you progress through career mode, and you unlock these as you go through. Really awesome looking designs here for the posters, but yeah, you get rewards for winning each of these throwdowns. They're separate to the career mode progression, but some really interesting events. The dynamic weather is like really timed up to 11 for these events too, and you unlock those as you progress. So enjoy those too. That's career mode in Dirt 5, and there's our Peugeot sitting in the garage. We'll touch on one or two more things just before we leave you, because we didn't want to just focus on career mode. I've been mentioning arcade. This is what it is. Arcade is the offline event creator that you can use. You can go into free play or time trial. Time trial is basically the single player version where you can just set times on a specific scenario, and then your time gets posted into a global leaderboard, so you can compare your achievements, your times against the world. In free play, you can basically do the same, but with an event of up to 12 cars on track, and not just AI drivers either. Dirt 5 has 4-player split screen. 4-player split screen on all platforms. That includes PC. 4-player split screen on PC. Who ever heard of that? PC is awesome for split screen. It's fantastic to have split screen Dirt 5 on PC. So yeah, you can access that in free play. You can also have up to 4-player split screen in career mode, so your friends can help you progress as you go along, and you can unlock rewards and objectives that way too, to help you sort of speed up progression and just enjoy the experience together. But whether you're split screen or single player, this is how it works. You choose your location, choose your car class, weather, time, and then race setup. So how many cars you want to track, difficulty modes, which I was talking about earlier, and then go from there. And it's the same in time trial. That's how it works. You can design the scenario of your dreams with all of the options we have available to you in terms of locations and cars and classes. Finally, playgrounds. Just super cool when we get to show this and talk about it. I think we're going to do one event just to finish, just as a little bit of a bonus. So playgrounds, like I said, the user-generated arenas you can make. So you can see some examples here. So some of the greatest designs that we saw in the demo that I was mentioning earlier that went out to some of our Racing Head creators, we saved and stored some of the best creations, and they will come into the game on Dirt 5 on launch. So as you're designing your own arenas, your own playgrounds, you will upload them against some of these designs and get an idea of the breadth of the possibilities available to you. As an example, so I think this one, I believe, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I believe this was designed by GTR Merginator, who really went to town on playgrounds when we had the chance of a few weeks back. This is mad. So this is a gatecrasher event in Dirt 5. And just keep in mind that everything you see right now in terms of objects, jumps, look at this, objects, jumps, items, anything you see here is built from the ground up. Playgrounds gives you, so close. Playgrounds gives you a blank slate, an open arena to do whatever you like with our suite of creation tools and design what you want. And this is the kind of thing that you can create with a bit of creativity, a bit of time, a bit of ingenuity. This is the kind of thing you can do. Absolutely nuts. I'm absolutely going to bin this at some point. Big jump. So this is so there's 3 different event types which I mentioned earlier. You've got Gymkhana, speaks for itself. You create Gymkhana arenas and set and make players achieve the best score possible. Smash attack is the same, but instead of tricks and stunts, you have to smash objects which you place around an arena. And then this is Gatecrasher. So we just crossed the checkpoint, and you have to pass through all of the checkpoints laid down by the creator. And then the final checkpoint at the end of the event, that's your time. And then your time is stored on the event's global leaderboard, which is then ranked against the rest of the world. It just boggles my mind that this was designed by our community in an early work-in-progress version of Dirt 5. Just think of when we launched this from November the 6th, the kind of things that you guys and girls, the whole community are going to be able to jump in and create. I cannot wait. It's my favourite thing about when we launch on Dirt 5 is seeing what all of you come up with. It's going to be amazing. Let's get up here. I don't know, for those of you who saw, if you haven't seen them already, there's a bunch of work-in-progress gameplay of playgrounds on our YouTube channel. There's a playlist, so go on our channel, check out a playlist of, it will say Dirt 5 Playgrounds gameplay, check it out. One of the really, really good things about that as well is that we took on a bunch of feedback and good points made by those who played the game in terms of physics, in terms of handling, and just talking to our team about ways that we can improve it further. So even before launch, we've had a chance to talk with players, figure out what's working, what isn't, and improve the experience. And things like physics, especially like car suspension and things like that, I can tell just by playing it, have been changed drastically for the better for launch, which is absolutely brilliant. And I cannot believe that I haven't binned it. We're nearly at the end of the, well, we've got a few more checkpoints to go through, but we're nearly towards the end of the event. Break! Overdone it. Spoke too soon. But to think that this started as a blank slate, an empty arena of endless possibilities, and our community have come up with something like this is just really, really awesome. And I can't wait to see this en masse to the entire community when we launch from November the 6th. We weave through these checkpoints. Nearly at the end. Let's go. Up the ramp. Big right. I want it to happen. Fine. Oh, we're nearly there. Floor it. Yes. Oh no, one more. Oh no, I've done it. Oh no, I messed it up. I thought that was a finish line. I was wrong. Probably knocked about a second off my time. Cool, and you can see like that's an example there, the live leaderboard that will just populate and populate and populate as we go on, as the game launches. So, and this is the option you get with every playground. You can thumbs up it, you can thumbs down it, which helps us curate the discover area of playgrounds where you can browse and find the most highly rated playgrounds and some spotlight ones that we decide to feature. I'm going to give that a thumbs up because it's awesome. And then it gives you recommendations of what kinds of playgrounds you might want to try next. That's a brief glimpse into how playgrounds will work in Dirt 5. And that's pretty much it. As is the norm for me, I thought this would take about 45, 50 minutes and it's gone on for 90. So, but it's been awesome showing you guys and girls the first look at career mode in Dirt 5. Like I said at the very beginning of the stream, this is a work in progress PC build running at 1440p. You'll be able to achieve even better than this on launch with high spec PC setups and on consoles. And then let's talk about launch because there's so many dates and platforms to get through. So as I switch it back here to our studio view, so Dirt 5 launches on November 6th for PC, for Xbox One, and for PlayStation 4. If you buy the Amplified Edition, if you pre-order the Amplified Edition of Dirt 5, you'll be able to play the game 3 days early. So November 3rd, that's available across all platforms. So November 3rd for Amplified Edition, November 6th for current gen and PC launch. Xbox Series X and Series S launches on November 10th. It was amazing yesterday sharing some first looks at Xbox Series X gameplay Dirt 5, including 120 FPS. Look online for the likes of Digital Foundry, GameSpot, some amazing footage. So that's November 10th. And then later this year, very, very, very soon, we're going to confirm the official launch date for PlayStation 5 as well, which will also have 120 frames per second mode, enhanced performance, faster loading. All of these things that you're going to get as you move up to the next generation of consoles will be available on Xbox Series X, on PlayStation 5. And we're very, very close to announcing the confirmed 100% launch date for PlayStation 5. We can't wait to tell you, but it's coming very, very, very soon. So November 6th, PC, current gen, consoles, November 10, Xbox Series X and Series S, and very, very soon for PlayStation 5 as well. If you're a player of previous Dirt games, you can also get a 10% discount if you pre-order Dirt 5 today, anytime before launch. If across any of your platforms, use your profile, log in with your profile, you'll be able to redeem your 10% discount as a reward for the Dirt community, for your support, which we massively appreciate. And that's pretty much the crux of it. We're just a few weeks away now from launch. Super, super excited. It's going to be amazing to see you guys go through career mode, to create playgrounds, to go online, which you haven't even talked about multiplayer, which we're going to reveal a lot more on over the next couple of weeks. We've already talked about some party modes that are in Dirt 5. So we've got traditional races, but also some objective-based, really, really fun stuff. That's going to be great. Look out for that on our channels over the next couple of weeks. It's going to be so cool watching you guys and girls get through all of that. So thank you again for joining us. Shout out to, again, one more final shout out to our Discord community. Shout out to the entire Dirt 5 team. Thank you for working so hard on this game and getting it ready for November 6th and beyond. It's going to be amazing seeing your creation come to life in the hands of players. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Thank you to everybody for joining us. Keep an eye on our channels over the next few days for more news. Check out our YouTube channel for loads of gameplay of Dirt 5. And that's the crux of it. But thank you so much for joining us. Can't wait to chat with you more over the next few weeks. And we'll see you around. Thank you for watching this Dirt 5 live stream. See you.